and welcome to Rajya Sabha Television. You're watching News Tonight with me, Vishal Dahiya. Now, before we begin with the headlines, Rajya Sabha TV would like to make an appeal to all its viewers to stay safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Remember to wear a face mask and wash your hands and face regularly, and ensure that you maintain physical distancing whenever you're stepping outside. And these simple precautions are all it takes to defeat the pandemic. Let's now take a look at the headlines. COVID-19 vaccine to cost 250 rupees in private hospitals, free of cost in government hospitals. Second phase of vaccination starts from 1st of March. Prime Minister Modi inaugurates India's first toy fair, appeals to manufacturers to replace plastic with eco-friendly material, promote handmade products and Make in India efforts. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu calls for judicial systems to be made more accessible and affordable, highlights need for systemic solutions to prevent delays in justice. Senior Congress leaders demand organizational elections and the appointment of a full-time party president, lament that declining mass pace is weakening the party from within. Political activity intensifies in election-bound states. AIADMK and BJP hold sheet-sharing meeting in Tamil Nadu. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi takes part in roadshow. Let's now take a look at the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday inaugurated the first India Toy Fair via video conferencing. Addressing the event, Prime Minister Modi said that the Indian toy industry has tradition, technology, concepts and competence. He asserted that the India Toy Fair is a major step in the journey towards building an Atmanirbhar Bharat and strengthen the age-old traditions of the country.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi asked the toy manufacturers to use less plastic and more eco-friendly and recyclable material. Inaugurating the first India Toy Fair 2021, Prime Minister Modi said that toy makers should make more attractive and innovative toys that are more suited for the psyche of children. He stated that the most Indian toys are affordable and made from natural and eco-friendly items.
ये खिलौने देश के युवा मन को हमारे इतिहास और संस्कृति से भी जोड़ते हैं और सामाजिक मानसिक विकास में भी सहायक होते हैं। इसलिए आज मैं देश के टॉय मैन्युफैक्चरर्स से भी अपील करना चाहूंगा कि आप ऐसे खिलौने बनाएं जो इकोलॉजी और साइकोलॉजी दोनों के लिए बेहतर हो। किसी भी संस्कृति में जब खेल और खिलौने आस्था के केंद्रों का हिस्सा बन जाएं, तो इसका अर्थ है कि वो समाज खेलों के विज्ञान को गहराई से समझता था। हमारे यहाँ खिलौने ऐसे बनाए जाते थे जो बच्चों के चहुमुखी विकास में योगदान दें, उनमें एनालिटिकल माइंड विकसित करें।
Prime Minister Modi regretted the fact that the India's share in the $100 billion global toy market is less, and about 85% of the toys sold in the country are imported. He said that the initiative aims to make India Atmanirbhar in the toy sector and to also promote handmade in India.
हमें खेल और खिलौनों के क्षेत्र में भी देश को आत्मनिर्भर बनाना है, वोकल फॉर लोकल होना है। इसके लिए हमें आज की जरूरतों को समझना होगा। हमें दुनिया के बाजार को, दुनिया की प्राथमिकताओं को जानना होगा। हमारे खिलौनों में बच्चों के लिए हमारे मूल्य, संस्कार और शिक्षाएं भी होनी चाहिए।
Prime Minister Modi also urged the parents to encourage the children to play with their toys outdoors. He added that toys play a vital role in the learning process of children.
खिलौनों का जो वैज्ञानिक पक्ष है, बच्चों के विकास में, उनकी लर्निंग में खिलौनों की जो भूमिका है, उसे पेरेंट्स को भी समझना चाहिए और टीचर्स को स्कूलों में भी उसे प्रयोग करना चाहिए। इस दिशा में अब देश भी प्रभावी कदम उठा रहा है।
Prime Minister Modi also interacted with traditional toy makers from Chennapatnam, Varanasi and Jaipur and exhorted them to innovate and make traditional toys more relevant. The Prime Minister said the government has prepared a national toy action plan by involving 15 ministries with a view to make the domestic toy industry competitive.
इस फेयर का उद्देश्य अपने देश में व विश्व में ट्रेडिशनल टॉयज यानी पारंपरिक टॉयज बनाने का इसका मुख्य उद्देश्य है। वह विश्व में हमारे भारत के टॉयज की मांग बढ़े और जो चाइना से टॉयज आता था उसकी जगह पे भारत के टॉयज की डिमांड बढ़े, वह गुणवत्ता बढ़े और इसमें अच्छे अच्छे इन्वेंशंस हों।
More than 1,000 exhibitors are participating in the toy fair that is being held from 27th February to 2nd March 2021. Union Ministers Nitin Gadkari and Smriti Irani also participated in the event. Mohammad Fateh Tipu's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
The Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be honoured with the CERAWeek Global Energy and Environment Leadership Award next week. He will be presented the award during the annual International Energy Conference. The Prime Minister will also deliver the keynote address at the CERAWeek Conference 2021, which will be held virtually from 1st of March to 5th of March and is being organised by IHS Markit. Prominent speakers at the conference include US Special Presidential Envoy for Climate John Kerry, co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and founder of Breakthrough Energy Bill Gates, and President and CEO Saudi Aramco Amin Nasir. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has said that inordinate delay, cost of legal proceedings and inaccessibility and impeding the effective delivery of justice to the common man. Speaking at the 11th convocation to the Tamil Nadu Dr. Ambedkar Law University on Saturday, he urged the graduates to make the judicial system accessible, affordable and understandable for every citizen. He also underscored the importance of restoring public confidence in the system.
You can make judicial system more accessible, affordable, understandable to every citizen. The cost of legal process is a major impediment in making justice accessible to all. A common perception is that there are many hidden costs in availing legal route to resolve disputes. We have to find ways to reduce this out-of-pocket expenditure to the common citizen. The system needs to be demystified and brought closer to the people by conducting court proceedings and delivering judgments in the language of the people. As young graduates, you must lead this wave of new innovations in legal jurisprudence and fully leverage it to improve access, lower costs and reduce penalties.
The Vice President also suggested the need for special courts to fast-track criminal cases involving public functionaries. He also proposed separate fast-track courts for electoral disputes and malpractices.
Special courts can be constituted to exclusively deal with criminal cases involving public servants and elected representatives in a time-bound manner. We have been talking about for long. We must move in the direction of creating special courts to deal with the cases of elected representatives. We have seen how cases are prolonged for years. Separate fast-track courts can also be set up to resolve electoral cases and to look into electoral malpractices.
The Vice President expressed concern over recent happenings in the legislature of Himachal Pradesh and other states. He called for public representatives to have the highest ethical standards and exemplary conduct in every forum.
I urge upon all public representatives to conduct themselves in a decent and dignified manner in every forum. Otherwise, the people might get disillusioned with our polity soon. Frequent disruption and stalling of legislative proceedings would not serve any purpose, and everyone must realize that the only way forward for every problem is discuss, debate, and decide, not disrupt.
The Hunar Haat is playing a phenomenal role in making Vocal for Local campaign a mass movement. The Union Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi said this on Saturday, addressing the media at the Hunar Haat being held at the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in New Delhi. Naqvi said that more than 12 lakh people have visited since it opened on 20th of February. He said the number of visitors is likely to go over 16 lakh in the next 2 days. More than 600 artisans and craftsmen from more than 31 states and union territories are participating in the Hunar Haat in New Delhi. Naqvi said that the Hunar Haat has provided employment opportunities to more than 530,000 artisans, craftsmen and artists so far. Exquisite indigenous handmade products from various states and regions of the country are on sale and display at the Haat. The visitors can also enjoy the traditional delicacies from every region of the country at Bawarchi Khana section. The next Hunar Haat will be organized in Bhopal from 12th of March to 21st of March.
हमारा संकल्प है कि जब हम आज़ादी के 75वें वर्ष को देश में मना रहे होंगे, 75वीं वर्षगांठ को, अमृत महोत्सव को, तो हम 75 हुनर हाटों के क्रम को पूरा करके 7,50,000 से ज़्यादा दस्तकारों, शिल्पकारों को रोज़गार और रोज़गार के अवसर से जोड़ेंगे.
Now let's take a short break here, and on the other side we'll bring you some more news. Stay tuned.
Do you know who conducts the appointment of the Controller and Auditor General of India? Your options are A. Finance Minister, B. President of India, C. Parliament, and D. Prime Minister. See the correct answer tonight at 9:30 p.m. only on Rajya Sabha television.
Defeat coronavirus. Let us always remember, wear a mask, wash hands, follow physical distancing. Together, we'll succeed. Together, we'll win against COVID-19.
Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. Now let's take a look at some COVID-19 vaccination drive related stories. Now, the second phase of COVID-19 vaccination will begin from Monday. The preparations are underway for this particular phase. Anyone above the age of 60 years or above the age of 45 with existing illness that make them more vulnerable to COVID-19 will be allowed to sign up to receive coronavirus vaccines from 1st of March. Union Health Ministry said more than 1,42 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered to beneficiaries in the country so far. A total of 7,69,000 doses of vaccine were given to health care and frontline workers in the last 24 hours. Meanwhile, 6 states, Maharashtra, Kerala, Punjab, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Gujarat have shown a surge in new cases in a span of 24 hours. Now, Maharashtra continues to report the highest daily new cases at 8,333. It is closely followed by Kerala with 3,671 cases, while Punjab reported 622 new cases in the last 24 hours. The country's COVID-19 recovery rate stands at an impressive 97.14%, with recovery of more than 12,000 patients within 24 hours. Amid the surge in COVID-19 cases in some parts of the country, Cabinet Secretary Rajya has asked all states and union territories not to lower their guard, enforce COVID-appropriate behavior and deal firmly with the violations. The Cabinet Secretary held a high-level review meeting with Chief Secretaries of Maharashtra, Punjab, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, Telangana and Jammu and Kashmir. These states and union territories have been reporting a high active caseload or an increasing trend in new cases in the last week. Meanwhile, Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla has asked states and union territories to maintain caution and strict surveillance to fully overcome the COVID pandemic. He has written a letter to all the states and union territories after extending COVID-19 guidelines till 31st of March. Now, staying with the COVID-19 news, the district administration in Maharashtra's Latur has decided to implement Janta Curfew on Saturday and Sunday in view of the rising cases of coronavirus in the state. While making the announcement about it, Latur authorities appealed to the citizens to observe the Janta Curfew to break the virus chain and requested them not to leave their homes during the weekend except in case of emergency. Maharashtra continues to report the highest daily new cases, over 8,000. Several restrictions have been imposed in the areas that are reporting the spike. From February 22nd, social political gathering has been barred across the state, including Mumbai. Aviation regulator, Directorate General of Civil Aviation, has extended the suspension of international commercial passenger flight services till 31st of March. Scheduled international flight operations were suspended from 23rd March last year in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. The DGCA, however, said international scheduled flights may be allowed on select routes by the competent authority on case-to-case basis. In some political news, the senior leaders of the Congress party admitted on Saturday that the party is getting weak. Members of the G23 group of Congress senior leaders gathered in Jammu and called for strengthening the party. Kapil Sibal, Anand Sharma, Raj Babbar and Ghulam Nabi Azad were some of the stalwart leaders present in this meeting. The leaders raised their concerns about the party's failing popularity and the infighting.
मैं पार्लियामेंट के राज्यसभा से रिटायर हुआ हूं, राजनीति से रिटायर नहीं हुआ हूं जैसे मेरे साथी ने। और पार्लियामेंट से मैं पहली दफा नहीं रिटायर हुआ। जब लोकसभा से आना था राज्यसभा तो भी 3-4 महीने का गैप था। जब यहां से पहले बना, जब सीएम बना था तब भी बीच में गैप था, बीच में एक और दफा गैप था। तो हम इधर से डूबते हैं, इधर निकलते हैं, इधर से निकलते हैं, इधर डूबते हैं।
ये अधिकार मैंने किसी को नहीं दिया कि मेरे जीवन में कोई बताए कि हम कांग्रेसी हैं या नहीं हैं। ये हक किसी का नहीं है। हम बता सकते हैं कांग्रेस क्या है, हम बनाएंगे कांग्रेस। हम कांग्रेस को मजबूत के साथ साथ कांग्रेस की एकता को मानते हैं।
सच्चाई तो ये है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी हमें कमजोर होती दिख रही है और इसलिए हम यहां इकट्ठा हुए हैं।
And now some news from the poll-bound state of Tamil Nadu, where assembly elections are to be held on 6th of April. Now, the ruling AIADMK and BJP began sheet-sharing talks on Saturday. BJP delegation, including Union Ministers Kishan Reddy and General V.K. Singh, the General Secretary in charge of Tamil Nadu, C.T. Ravi, and State Party Chief L. Murugan, held discussions with Chief Minister K. Palaniswamy and AIADMK Coordinator and Deputy Chief Minister O. Paneerselvam. The BJP leaders indicated that the talks were cordial and the deal is likely to be clinched very soon. The AIADMK held separate talks with a delegation from the PMK too. Meanwhile, actor turned politician Kamal Hassan announced that his party M&M will kickstart election campaign from the 3rd of March. Addressing a press conference in Chennai, Kamal Hassan said that the party will announce the first list of candidates on 7th of March. AIA-SMK founder and actor Sarath Kumar met Kamal Hassan to discuss the possibility of forging electoral ties for the upcoming election. On the other hand, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi also launched his party's campaign in the state. On Saturday, he held a roadshow in Thoothukudi and interacted with the people. Rahul Gandhi is on a 3-day tour of the poll-bound state. In Assam, Rashtriya Janta Dal leader Tejasvi Yadav on Saturday said that his party will contest the upcoming Assam Assembly elections with the like-minded parties. Yadav, during a maiden visit to Guwahati, said he has already met Congress Assam Chief Ripun Bora and will hold talks with the AIUDF to formalize the alliance.
जो देश के लिए असम के लिए ठीक नहीं है, उन लोगों को किसी भी प्रकार से सत्ता में दोबारा वो आए ना, इसलिए हमारी जितनी ताकत होगी, जो फोर्स होगा, हमारी जो ज़रूरत होगी, उसके लिए हम असम यहाँ आए हैं.
The countdown for the launch of the Indian Space Research Organization's PSLV C-51 Amazonia 1 mission began on Saturday. The PSLV C-51 is scheduled for launch from Satish Dhawan Space Center in Andhra Pradesh, Sriharikota at 10:24 p.m. on Sunday. The mission would mark the 53rd PSLV, or the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle mission. The PSLV C-51 rocket would carry Brazilian satellite Amazonia 1 as the primary satellite. President, Vice President and Prime Minister Modi on Saturday paid tributes to Saint poet Ravidas on his birth anniversary. President Ramnath Kovind has greeted people on Guru Ravidas Jayanti. In his message, Kovind said Guru Ravidas was a great saint and a religious reformer who devoted his life to serve humanity. The President said through his teachings he delivered the message of equality, justice, peace and harmony to mankind. Paying tributes to Sant Ravidas, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said Ravidas believed in universal brotherhood and spread the message of unity through his writings and teachings. Prime Minister Modi in his tweet said the messages given by Saint Ravidas centuries ago on equality, goodwill and compassion will inspire people of the country for ages. A function was organized on Sant Ravidas Jayanti at BJP headquarters in New Delhi. Addressing the gathering, BJP President J.P. Nadu said the people should take inspiration from the life of Sant Ravidas and try to inculcate his teachings in their day-to-day life.
लेखनी जो भी उन्होंने लिखा, फिर चाहे वो गुरु ग्रंथ साहब में या कबीर जी ने अपने दोहे में, उसमें संत रविदास जी का बहुत उसमें उपयोग हुआ और उनको बहुत जगह कोट किया गया. यानी इन बड़े महात्मा यानी गुरु नानक देव जी भी और हमारे कबीर जी, इन लोगों ने भी उनकी बताए हुए रास्ते को पूरा करने के दृष्टि से उनकी बातों को, उनके द्वारा लिखी हुई काव्यों को, उसको उन्होंने
अपने में समावेश करने की कोशिश की।
Bhakti movement saint Guru Ravidas is well known for making efforts in eradicating caste system. He was contemporary to Kabir Das, and Mirabai was a disciple of Ravidas. His influence on Indian culture is immense. And before we leave, let us remind you once again to stay safe from the coronavirus pandemic. Remember to wear a face mask and wash your hands and face regularly, and ensure that you maintain physical distancing whenever you're stepping outside. These simple precautions are all it takes to defeat the pandemic. That's all we have in News Tonight today. We'll come back again. Till then, keep watching Rajya Sabha Television.